The year is 30 BC. In the grand halls of Alexandria, a queen stands at the edge of history. Once the most powerful woman in the ancient world, Cleopatra now faces the inevitable, her empire crumbling, her enemies closing in. As Roman legions march toward her palace, she knows her fate is sealed. But Cleopatra is not one to surrender. Welcome to the story of Cleopatra. Cleopatra VII was born in 69 BC into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek ruling family that had controlled Egypt since the time of Alexander the Great. Unlike her predecessors, Cleopatra was unique. She embraced the Egyptian culture. She was the only Ptolemaic ruler to learn and speak Egyptian, further strengthening her connection to the people. To legitimize her reign, she presented herself as the new Isis, the divine protector of Egypt. However, her dynasty was fragile. Egypt was no longer the mighty empire it once was, and Rome's influence was growing. When Cleopatra's father Ptolemy XII died, a bitter struggle for power began. As was tradition in the Ptolemaic dynasty, she was married to her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, and they were expected to rule together. But their alliance quickly turned into rivalry, and at just 18 years old, Cleopatra was forced into exile. Determined to reclaim her throne, Cleopatra sought help from the most powerful man in the world, Julius Caesar. According to legend, she had herself smuggled into his palace, rolled inside a carpet. Whether true or not, the gamble worked. Captivated by her intelligence, charm, and political acumen, Caesar supported Cleopatra's claim to the throne. With Caesar's military backing, she defeated her brother's forces, securing her place on the throne. Ptolemy XIII drowned in the Nile while trying to escape, leaving Cleopatra as the uncontested ruler. Caesar and Cleopatra's relationship soon turned romantic, and in 47 BC, Cleopatra gave birth to a son, Ptolemy Caesar, better known as Caesarion. She hoped he would one day rule both Rome and Egypt. But Cleopatra's dreams of power were shattered in 44 BC when Julius Caesar was assassinated in Rome. Without his protection, she faced an uncertain future. Rome fell into chaos after Caesar's death. The empire was divided between Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, and Mark Antony, one of his closest allies. Cleopatra saw an opportunity and aligned herself with Antony. Their alliance was both political and personal. Antony, captivated by Cleopatra's intelligence and wealth, moved to Alexandria, where he and the queen became lovers. Together, they envisioned a powerful Eastern empire that could rival Rome's dominance. Antony gave Cleopatra vast lands and recognized Caesarion as Caesar's true heir, defying Octavian. The two rulers lived in extravagance, hosting lavish feasts and declaring themselves the divine rulers of the East. But back in Rome, Octavian used their relationship as propaganda, portraying Cleopatra as a manipulative foreign queen who had bewitched Antony. The Roman Senate declared war, not on Antony, but on Cleopatra herself. In 31 BC, the decisive Battle of Actium took place. Octavian's fleet clashed with Cleopatra and Antony's navy off the coast of Greece. Outmaneuvered and betrayed by some of their allies, Cleopatra and Antony suffered a crushing defeat. Their forces scattered, and they were forced to flee back to Egypt. With Octavian's legions marching toward Alexandria, Cleopatra retreated to her mausoleum and spread false news of her own death. Hearing this, Antony, believing Cleopatra was already dead, took his own life. Cleopatra, devastated but determined, refused to be paraded through Rome as a prisoner. As the story goes, Cleopatra had a venomous snake secretly delivered to her quarters. On August 1230 BC, she ended her own life, marking the fall of Egypt's last sovereign dynasty. With her death, Egypt fell under Roman rule. Not long after, Octavian ordered the execution of Caesarion, eliminating the last bloodline of Julius Caesar. Cleopatra was a master tactician, a skilled negotiator, and a ruler who fought to maintain Egypt's independence against Rome's expanding power. Her sharp intellect, relentless ambition, and political instinct cemented her place as one of the most influential women of the ancient world. Yet, Cleopatra's legacy refused to fade. Throughout history, she has been portrayed in art, literature, and film as a captivating ruler, a cunning strategist, and a tragic heroine. The details of her true story remain shrouded in mystery, but her legend continues to captivate the world.